I missed it. We got somebody walking a dog out for the middle of the field, and the lambs that are down the bottom were actually mobbing the poor dog. Makes a change, I suppose. I had a conversation with the dog owner, quite obviously not a local fellow, so I'd say Yorkshire, or maybe even a bit further north, so he probably felt quite at ease with me wearing this. Right, okay, quick check on you lot, and then I'm going over to the farm because I want to have a look at the state of play with wood pigeons and oilseed rape, see if they're still bashing it or if the banger is actually working now. Right, you've got plenty in there and you're quite comfortable in there, so it's nice to see you actually firming up. Right, you guys are alright. That light can go off. Out here we've had quite a lot of rain the last couple of days, and that's the problem. When I build this up out here, it diverts some of the water in there, makes that bit around the water tank a bit wet. I may have to dig some of this out later on. Right, they got plenty of grub. The bale I gave him last night is obviously far superior to the bale they had the day before, because they're getting through it. Right, you're okay in there. That can go off. Right, let's go look at some rape. Right, finally got away. I got my new GoPro 10, which I don't think I'm going to use today. I've actually ordered the protective screens to go over this. I'm not sure, I've got a funny feeling I can change the lens on this one if I break it, but anyway, I'm going to put some protective films over those just to make sure, just in case I drop it. So, well, we'll be using this perhaps indoors or in the car. I may actually do some of the filming on the way over with this as well, if I've got a spare. Yes, I do. So maybe I'll film with two cameras and I can compare the quality, sound and everything else between the two. That's a good idea, I'll do that. Right, okay. You can go on there. He's all charged up, ready to go. I'm hoping with the extra dead cat muffler on there that I'm going to have less of an issue with wind noise with this thing. Although in saying that, I think the GoPro 8 is still going to be my go-to camera for around the yards and that. These things ain't cheap. That's that. And I'm tight. Okay, so this morning we are shooting over to my dad's. Before I go to his place, I've got his Christmas presents from us in the back. We're going to shoot down, provided it doesn't piddle down and rain, that's looking pretty wet over there. We're going to shoot down and look at the rape. I bought the drone with me, which again I'm only going to put up if it's not raining. Not holding out a lot of hope there. I've had a chat with a couple of friends and we may be going down sometime in the next week with shotguns to deter pigeons. So we've had rope bangers out there for 10 days. We've had the gas powered bangers been out there for about a week. And they usually work for a few days, but then the loud bang needs to be reinforced. Pigeons aren't very clever. So just occasionally you have to actually knock a few out the sky to scare them off, and then the bangers will work again for a few more days, and then you go back and knock a few more off. The problem is, wood pigeons this time of year can do a terrific amount of damage. I mean, across the country, you could be talking hundreds of thousands of pounds worth of damage to crops, and it all comes off the bottom line. I mean, farmers are on such a tight margin on stuff at the moment. Alright, the price for the wheat and the rape is good, but then the price for the fertilizers and the sprays and everything else is bad. It's not all gravy. So yes, I used to shoot all the time, and I loved shooting when I was a kid, and that was all I wanted to do, and I was reasonably good at it. But that was 20 years ago, so not quite so good now. But yeah, I think so the first line of defence for us was the bangers. We've done everything we can to deter the pigeons in a non-lethal way, which will appease the Chris Packhams of the world. But once that ceases to work, then we need to get into doing it properly. Yeah, properly. Besides that, I quite like a bit of pigeon breast. It's actually wood pigeon meat, just the breast. It's not worth having anything else. It's actually quite nice. So, right, tither and here we come. Okay, well, as predicted, started pigeoning again. This is going to put pay to me putting the drone up. Morning. Morning. Hiya. What are you whinging about? Well, there's a park it indoors, aren't we? It has stopped raining for a minute, so maybe I'll just put the drone up quick now, and then we'll have a walk around afterwards, unless it starts raining again. Right, that's Dad's Christmas presents. You can have them in a minute. First, out with this fella. First job is turn that on because it takes ages to boot up, and then start building this. Clever little thing this is. This is so I can use my iPad to fly the drone instead of my iPhone, which has a number of advantages. One, I can still answer my phone if I get a phone call. There goes the crow banger. Anything flying? Nothing flying. Oh, there's a couple over in the distance over there. Okay, so hopefully the crow banger is currently doing its job, and if that's the case, there's no point in me coming over with a gun later on. Anyhow, we will have a look-see. That goes in there. We also need that. That one in there. That one in there. And that in there. Right. We are ready for takeoff. Let's go. Okay, so we're still looking a little bit thin around the headlands down there. I'm assuming that's partially down to the hedge trimmer going round. We did a lot of ditching as well this last year, so there's going to be a fair bit of compaction. And we did have a lot of rain last night. I mean, a lot of rain. Right, down in this corner is a fairly good hot spot for pigeons. Anything down there? Quite often they're sat in these trees here. No, nothing much in there. Look at the water out there. We did have a lot of rain last night. I mean, there were some big puddles on the way into over to this place this morning. But it's not holding water as bad as it has done in the past. I mean, we've had this field completely underwater, more or less. Yeah, headlands are thin. And it's these little bare patches out in the crop out here. That's where the pigeons are pitching out here and basically grazing their way into the crop. So some of this out here will be down to soil conditions, and some of it is certainly down to our pigeons. Okay, another favourite place for them to sit is up in these trees here. Nothing flying out of there either. Okay, right, up we go. We've got some visitors on the farm, so we'll just have a fly over to the side and go and see our visitors. Where are they? I reckon they are over there. So a local chap rang me, contacted me a couple of days ago and said, did I have any grazing for some sheep? And I said, yeah, the ground could do with clearing off, so that's what we've done. I think he said there's 130 out there, so they are going to tidy the ground up, because these two pieces, this one where they are now and this bit next door, only got cut once last year, so it does need a bit of a tidy up. Alright, any pigeons over? Oh, pigeons there. Right, I don't know if the camera picked them up. They're actually flying back up towards me now. They're all over there. Oh yeah, see them? Right, where are you going? Quite a few flying around here. Where are you going? Away, hopefully. Right. That was one little flock there. Only about 20 or 30 came out then. Let's see if we can find any more. Right. Don't forget there's cables at here, Ian. Don't get too low. Again, there's little patches like this we're coming up now. That's where they'll get in there and then down the tram lines, working their way into the crop. I don't know if the camera's picking these birds up or not. There's a whole load of them heading down. to that tree. This is our problem. Anyway, so I'm reckoning that a good place to set up a gun is down here. Somewhere in this hedge, I reckon. So probably somewhere about there, in between those two, in the hedge there. That's where I'll set myself up. And I can take the little darlings as they come up there. So, in fact, I might even make a second hide up here, so I can take advantage of anything coming in up there. In fact, that hedge is a bit thicker there. Okay. I don't actually know where the crow banger is out here, but yeah. Right. There we go. That's that done. Right, I'll bring the drone back and we will go and have a walk out there. That can go there. That can go in there. Right, so we're not plagued with thousands of pigeons, but there are dozens. Is it worth coming over with a gun to have a crack at them? Well, probably not yet. I think the easiest thing is going to be, or the best idea with this is, if we're going to do it, is to come over with 3 or 4 guns, which we can spread around a little bit and keep them moving. So if we can keep them moving around, they will eventually get the message and bugger off. That's the idea, and if they don't, well, it's just more pigeon pie, isn't it? We've got some headland damage out here. I think a lot of this is probably slugs. I don't think flea beetle is a massive issue right now. We've also obviously got some deer around. Some deer prints out here. Oh, God, that really did rain last night. Okay, so we aren't looking that bad in the middle. So the crop out there is probably fairly pigeon proof now. They won't like to land out there. They don't like to land in the crop that's higher than them. They like to be able to see what's going on around them. But there are enough bald patches, like here and out through there, where it is low enough for them to get in. And that's the problem, if they get in there. What we really don't want them to do is to take the middle out. If they nibble on these big leaves, that is a pain. But if they take the middle out of it, that's a real pain, that is. I know some folks will actually graze rape. I think they put sheep on it and stuff like that. Apparently it's supposed to help the crop. I don't think you can do it beyond a certain stage. I mean, you'll have to correct me if I'm wrong with this, but I think if you put sheep on more mature rape, it's a bit more toxic to them. So, but the young stuff, you can feed it, apparently. Psst, come on, go in this way. Come on. Right, the banger went off about 10 minutes ago, and I would show you the banger. Shall I show you the banger? What I'm concerned about is getting down there and the thing going off next to her. She probably won't appreciate it very much, and the fact that I don't actually know where it is, it's over there somewhere. We'll see. We'll have a look at the crop over there anyway. So it looks a lot different from down here than up there. It looks better down here than it does up there. we can see all the sins from up there. Come on, wait for me. Wait for me. That's another job for the first or second week in January as well. I need to bring a load more of this home. So we'll see if Reg is free and see if he can load me up and do a trip as well, because 30 bales is better than 15. Right, this is almost out of battery, so I've not got much time left, but I think this is where I'm going to set up if I come out with a gun, with a shotgun, for these trees here. Whether I get in the hedge here, maybe in the middle, I don't know. Any one of these positions could work. I know they fly quite a lot between these trees and that wood, but what I gotta watch out for is my silhouette. It's not necessarily me that they'll see in the hedge, but the shadow of me moving. Right, we don't need that. But yes, I could set something, or maybe I'll just come out with air rifle, because I have as much fun with that. And the thing is, the air rifle, they don't know I'm there. I could set that up down here. Right, forward shot. Depending on which rifle I use, I got to work out where my forward shots go in. So I'd actually probably prefer to sit under that one, it's dark as well, and shoot that one, because there's nothing that way at all. Right, okay. I found the banger, but I'm not wandering all the way down there. So besides that, I'm doing a better job for the minute. I'm scaring more pigeons than that is. Off to Dad's. Deliver his Christmas presents. Come on you, get in here. Get in, go on. Isn't that typical? You change out of your Wellington boots into your shoes, because it's better to drive in, and what do? Tread straight in a blinking dog fudge. I'll do the farmer grass dance, get it off. What, Chopsy? Right, that's my Boxing Day visit to Dad sorted out. Colin and Angela, Dad said thank you very much for shortbread. He likes shortbread. He'll enjoy that. And while we're at it, thank you again for all the gifts you sent us again this year. You did kind of go over the top again, but thank you very much indeed. We didn't video the unwrapping of presents this year. It was kind of a different year really, because we had mother-in-law there, kids and grandkids and boyfriends and stuff like that, so it was kind of just a different year this year to usual for Christmas Day. But yes, Angela, thank you very much. All the gifts you sent us were very thoughtful, very kind, very generous, and thank you. You shouldn't do it, it's very naughty. Right then, back home for cold turkey, cold pigs in blankets, cold stuffing, maybe a bit of cheese, some pickle. I might warm up the bit leftovers of the bread sauce, because I do like warm bread sauce. Mustard, crusty bread, Boxing Day brunch. Okay, so it is 20 to 4 Sunday afternoon, or Boxing Day afternoon. This morning when I came down here, we had a lot of rain last night. I hadn't appreciated how much rain we'd had until I went over to the farm this morning and saw the puddles on the road and the streams that had run out of gateways and standing water in places. We did have, I never heard a thing, We did have a fair drop of rain last night. The biggest problem we had with that was where I'd been allowing this to build up outside the gate to the shed. Although our new drains take a lot of the water, they don't take all of it. And some have come down here, and instead of going on down the yard where I want it to, it actually diverted into the barn. So it's taken me an hour and a half, I expect, to dig out the big wet patch in the barn. That's all cleaned out now. They've got a clean bed in there. And then take the lump out of here. Well, I reckon I've taken about 3.5 tons of muck and hay and chip out of here. It was many trips backwards and forwards to the tip. I've only put one bucket full of chip back in just to clean the top up temporarily. A couple of our calves really like to lie down in the corner in there, so if they're going to lie outside, I'd rather they let down in the dry and the clean. But that's it. We are now back on course again. It is as I expected. It has churned up this a little bit out here, but I'm not going to try and pick this up. This is just going to have to stay like it is now. The problem with trying to pick this up is the more I go, the more I just turn up more of it. So it will come a time when I will have to take some of this off. Another week, 10 days perhaps, but not yet. I've let this build up a little bit, the same as I've let the inside of the feeder build up a little bit, because I've got to bear in mind these are little dexters. This is a full-size cattle feeder. It's too deep for dexters if you kept everything dead clean and the middle empty. So I let it build up in the middle, and I let the yard build up a little middle so they can actually reach it, and the calves can reach a bit of it as well. So because they do have a nibble at it occasionally. And yeah, right, they're champing at the bit to get back out here because they've been shut in for about 40 minutes. So you guys can come out. I didn't bother recording cleaning them out because you've seen it enough times. You don't want to see it every single day, otherwise it just becomes repetitive and boring, and nothing exciting happened apart from a large lump of cow hitting me in the face. If you follow my Instagram, you'll have seen that. You guys are a little bit mucky this side, but really and truly not that bad. So I think you guys can get cleaned out tomorrow. Hello. Hello. Oh yeah? I reckon I still got a bit of that heron juice. There you go. Yeah, I was saying, I think I've still got a bit of that herring juice on me, so although I have got clean clothes on now, the stink has left my hands. So one or two of you have asked in the comments after watching Richard's Christmas special, was the fermented herring really that bad? Because it didn't seem to affect me much as much as Richard. It was awful. It truly was awful. But I have a fairly tough gut. As long as I don't put stuff in the gut, I can put up with some stinky stuff. In farming, and this will be the same for Richard as well, in farming and anything to do with livestock, you will come across things that stink. You might find an animal that's died, or something else has died, or like I said to Richard, if you have a stillborn calf or lamb that's been dead for maybe weeks, sometimes even months, and they come out in bits, smells like that. Those of you that have smelt that will know exactly what I'm talking about. Those that you haven't, you're probably better off not having smelt that, because it is pretty awful. One guy said, oh, you know, it probably wouldn't affect him because his job is around picking up dead people. You know, I expect some of them might have been dead for a while. It's kind of the same thing, I think. So, anything that's been dead for a while. I do believe my wife has come back with my Defender. I do believe my daughter's kicked my wife out of the driving seat and she's driving it. How dare she? I don't remember saying you could drive it. Makes me twitch enough when Mikey drives it, that on you as well. So it makes me twitch enough when Mikey drives it.
No, I couldn't reverse it out to the bit that I'm not a great reverser in this, so I have made my computer.
Oh yeah.
The settee's already outside the door, ready to go.
Who? Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright.
Green cracker.
What we're going to do...
So shit on my hand, mate.
Go back up with me.